As the world falls away, and I can't find a reason. As the world turns to gray, it's killing me unwillingly, and I am just the same as you.
There's really not a lot to talk about on the Dr. Phyllis show episode because you pretty much know what's going to happen. Drake and Josh is going to be part of a TV show, which is a reference to the Dr. Phil show and parody about the issues about getting along as brothers. And this is the final episode of season 3. The reason why I'm not talking about this is because, well, the story is really understandable from beginning to end. I mean, I get that they're trying to do a parody of Dr. Phil, which actually kind of works. I mean, I did like the idea of having two brothers, stepbrothers, having so many arguments. And they'll involve in an episode having these two characters talk to each other about their problems. The topics talked about arguing, Drake being selfish and all about himself, and Josh being goofy. Megan's actually part of this. And the final, well, not really final, is them fighting. While the other part of flashbacks is after the show, involving them in the good times. Well, except the part where Dr. Phillips completely insulted Drake and Josh for calling her daughter Eliza Tuffer, a bad kisser, and a stupid girl. I have to admit, that was kind of out of nowhere, and it probably works perfectly to end off this Dr. Phyllis show parody segment. It really works for this episode. But other than that, this episode is basic for what it is. But I will say this though, this might be the last time where Drake and Josh either argues or fight against each other. I mean, there are times that they did that in season 4, but unlike in season 4, season 3 is like the most of all the seasons they keep arguing and fighting against each other. I think that in season 4 they tried to move on and probably work together as stepbrothers, but at the same time with their arguing, they just pretty much know what's going to happen. But remember the episode that I reviewed Josh has done like a year and 4 months ago? That was taking it very seriously, that there was no point of having a fight or an argument because they pretty much move on from that due to this episode that they were a part of. As for the flashbacks that we get to see in this episode, they're pretty good. I mean, it really shows examples onto how that for the, well, maybe the 35th or whatever episode number this is, they show everything about their past, and it really shows that it really works for this episode. I think that it's a good idea that they have this concept by having all parts and histories between Drake and Josh from the past, well, minus season 1, in this episode. It really works for that. Especially the fact that afterwards, they pretty much improve their relationship. Even though they probably kind of did that in Josh's Done, but then again, it's everyone else's view on the episodes. I give this episode a 7 out of 10. It's a good example to show that brothers or stepbrothers may not get along, but at the same time, I just seen stuff like this before, but it's a really good idea that they're doing it here to show everything of what Josh and Drake did in the past.